An interesting point about AI is it learns from its own mistakes, or it should be learning from its
Yeah.
own mistakes. So how do you, at Qlik, how do you provide feedback to your consumers, right? If somebody uses Qlik for the first time and there's some issues, how do they learn how to improve and so on?
That's a good question. And that's one that we're still figuring out. I mean, we're releasing new content so quickly. One of our new capabilities is Qlik Answers, which is an LLM built into the Qlik product. So really it's on the analytics and the integration side. But within Qlik Answers, you can start to flag, hey, this is good, or hey, this is bad, or hey, this didn't make sense, or hey, this was, usually people don't say when things are really good, they just say when it's
Right.
really bad. And behind the scenes, we're gathering that information to continue training. But, you know, there's more that we need to do, that's for sure, and on everybody to make sure that we're able to train them to have the right types of conversations.
Because I assume that the agent who controls the other agents, has a log file basically saying, hey, this is good, this is bad. It would be interesting to see. I mean, that's my view on AI, is that it's a full cycle, right? It's not one way. You don't just
No, no,
send
no.
information in. And that's what we always say in data science, is that the best data you can collect is the data you get from consumers.
Yeah.
But of course, also, I think there's a lot of concern because outside the traditional data and analytics space, basically LLMs are that annoying kid from middle school who will answer any question confidently, whether they know anything about it or not. And I think that there's probably a lot of concern among, generally, that we don't want to be in a situation where LLMs are generating data, because you said garbage in, garbage out. Well, if the garbage that's coming out is going back in, then things are just going to keep getting off the rails. I think that this is generally understood, but especially in the data space. I mean, I've been talking to some of the people here at the conference, and there's terror and anger among these people. We cannot have bad data polluting our good data because these are people who love data. They are they are committed to data in a way that you just don't experience all the time with people.
So true.
How do you answer their questions and their concerns and fears about AI?
So I think, one, I was laughing at an example of AI hallucination that I came up with the other day. I was looking up the cocktail, the paper plane. I don't know, you guys ever had a paper plane? It's bourbon, Aperol, it's delightful. And I looked up something about the paper plane, the ratio, and Google told me that the paper plane was named after the song Paper Planed by, I think it's MIA or Mia. And I was like, you know, I think it might be a little older
Dispute
than
that.
the 2010s, but someone somewhere wrote that. And that was one of the first times that I was looking at the Google kind of summary at the top. And I was like, I'm going to call BS on this one. But to address your concern, one, I've heard that a lot. I was at a Qlik event a couple months ago, and we were talking about the cost of agents, of LLMs, just the cost. And somebody goes, well, we don't want it to, we're really trying to control people. And so we can only let them use this thing. And, that's how we're going to keep costs and we're going to keep everything secure. And somebody else goes, well, we tried to do that. And then everybody in our organization just made personal accounts. And suddenly they're shoving their data into these personal accounts. And the first person goes, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. And you could tell the rest of the day, they're just like, oh my gosh, I might have, hundreds of ChatGPT accounts that so I think the worst thing that you can do is try to lock it down from the beginning. You need to give people some flexibility. You need to give people some space to learn. And what Qlik has done is we've built out kind of an AI panel. And we have somebody whose job it is to say, here's the tool that we're using, and here are some of the things that you should not be doing. You should not be putting, press releases that haven't been released yet into Claude. Don't do that. But outside of that, explore, share your ideas. So I think it's a combination of don't try to control too much because people will go find a way to use it, but also encourage them to find new use cases because this is how really great new productivity techniques come into organizations. Somebody had an idea and shared it, and suddenly we're doing something much faster and much smarter.